What's up, everybody in YouTube land? This is Sean Ferrer once again. For my last two videos, I had a little bit of critiquing from a very valued friend. I respect his ideas and his terminology, so I came a little bit more prepared. I think what we're going to do with the show is the idea that I'm going to pick three topics, and they're going to be in the media. Okay, now, am I going to report on what the media reports? Probably not. I'm probably going to report a lot more than what the media actually reports, because I listen to, real news, not fake news. So, without further ado, I am so sorry, I apologize, we start with topic number one. As you've probably heard, there's a murder, or mass murder, in Colorado. And what I feel is the real story here, okay? Because the mainstream media came right out and immediately blamed white supremacy. This is all racism. This is the white man bad, everybody else is okay. And not to say that, don't put me in that category. How about that? Okay, but it turns out that now we're learning more, and this story is not white supremacy. This is a Muslim man with mental issues, which are noted. Okay, he came to this country in 2002. Parents noted that he was not right in the head. A lot of history behind it. Friends of him, or I guess acquaintances, friends, I don't know. But they're coming out and specifying, well, he was a really nice guy until somebody actually upset him, and then he would definitely take it way over the edge. Now, here's my point. What happens to the narrative of the left? The narrative of the left immediately is white supremacy, correct? But once it's not white supremacy, where does the narrative go? Right to gun control. Oh, he shouldn't have been able to get these guns. We need to ban all assault weapons. We need to do this. And the reason why is because their original narrative did not work in this instance. They fought so hard to get that narrative passed across, and it is going strong in this country. But at the same time, it didn't work here. So what do? They switch decisions. They immediately go, you know what? No. All right, if it wasn't white supremacy and it wasn't racism, it's gun control. That's what we should be doing, right? Isn't that what we should be doing? I mean, it's like, really? Are you people really that scapegoat? That you immediately just, you know what, let's just go to the next narrative. Like news anchors. They just go to the next piece. Quick. Move on. Segue. Done. That is sad to me. These people are supposed to be professional journalism. That's what they are. They are journalists that most of them, took journalism in college, or most of them, went out of their way to have this field, to actually be professional in this field. But, I mean, really? That's what you consider your professionalism? Let's just go to the next one. Next cue card. Next one. Let's see what happens. Your narrative doesn't work anymore. Even the left is starting to see the visions of the left, which actually baffles someone like myself, because I actually sit back and chuckle, because I'm like, really? Wow, it took you this long to see it? All right, well, if you're last, you're first, at least in this at least in this world, and at least in, in this culture. Doesn't matter, you still get a participation trophy. Super. Good job. But I mean, at the same time, it's like one of those things where it's like, I mean, do you not see the ignorance that's going on here? And I always think that it's funny because we call the left the woke. I really think, honestly, in my own opinion, it's the right that's woke. Like, we're the ones that are actually seeing what's going on. And now, looking back on it, 'cause we pussyfooted around for quite a while. But now, we're actually looking at it going, no, this can't happen. But anyway, before I diverse, number 2, crisis at the border. Okay? First thing I'd love to say about this is there was actually internet pictures that were just leaked on the internet, okay, of the children in the detention centers, okay? That being said, I wish I actually had the option of like being able to Photoshop in front of you or something like that, like some of the big wigs in this type of profession, but I don't. So you're just going to have to hear my voice and possibly look it up on just about any friggin' part of the internet that you can go to. Okay? It turns out that I don't know whether it was a journalist or a staffer inside the detention center leaked photos to the media, okay, of the inside of these detention centers. Now, when President Trump was president and these detention centers were being used, okay, you got pictures from inside because he was being completely transparent. And you got pictures from the media, and a lot of those pictures were like, they weren't accurate. How would you say? But there were a few that actually were accurate. And it would be, honestly, and I'll freely admit it, it's a big cage with tile floor, and at that time there'd be like 20 kids in there. They're all, they all have cots, and yeah, they're sleeping on the floor. It's a bad situation all the way around. But at the same time, I mean, they were sleeping on the floor like 20 feet away from each other. Not like right now. You see one of those photos now, there's like 100 kids in the same area that 20 kids used to occupy. And they're sleeping on the floor right next to each other. And we're supposed to be in the worst pandemic of the history of the world, which makes no sense to me for the simple fact that, I mean, there's been so many other diseases and so many other plagues that have gone on in human society that it's like, I mean, really? This is the worst one, huh? Okay. Now, that being said, okay, the other part of the crisis at the border, okay, is the idea, okay, we had Article 42. Article 42, placed under President Trump, stated that, guess what? If you came to the border, you had to go back to Mexico. And then you would wait adjudication. Okay, and then if your adjudication was improved, you can come to the United States. That's the way it worked. Okay? We actually have evidence, which is on the news. Go look it up. Please. I beg you. But it's on the news. Okay, of they're not even they're not even trying to use Article 42 anymore. Even though it's law. It's federal law. But they're not even doing it. And what they're doing is they're allowing, if people come to the country illegally, okay, what they're allowing them to do is they go into the detention center and supposedly by the stipulations of the law that Biden has actually put in, they stay there for 3 days, 72 hours. Okay? And then they're released into the interior. The sad part about it is the Democrats love to push the idea that we need to double mask and, we need to, I mean, Florida is such a bad state. That'll be my next point. You have no idea where I'm going there. But they're allowing them into the interior of the United States with no COVID tests. Nothing. That's it. You know what? Just go on out there. Who knows? Let's see what happens. If this doesn't bother you, it's like one of those moments where it's like a come to God or come to Jesus moment where you just sit back and go, really? So I'm supposed to sit there and listen to Dr. Fauci, who's lied repetitively. And basically just about every Democrat senator or House member including the president and the vice president, has lied to me on one occasion or another. But I'm supposed to just take you guys at face value and go, you know what? You're absolutely right. That's what we're going to do. We're going to allow these people in. But you know what? On 4th of July, you get to sit in your bedroom under a tent, away from your family. Don't light off fireworks. Or actually, if I really have to get technical, what Biden said was, if we stay to the course, you may be able to congregate with maybe one or two of your family in a small location, basically not doing anything. That's the point that I'm getting to. How are you? I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, I understand he's the president of the United States. I acknowledge that. Okay, but at the same time, how are you sitting in the White House? You're a houseplant, basically. You're going to tell me that I can't congregate with my family and friends on 4th of July when I did it last year. Never caught COVID. Never a problem. I have lupus. Trust me, I have an autoimmune deficiency disease. I know exactly what the risks are. Never got anything. Lit off a bunch of fireworks. We grilled out. It was awesome. Lots of people here. That in itself just makes me go, pfft. I could care less about your administration. I'm just waiting for the next cycle. That's what I'm doing. Waiting for the next 4 years. That's it. Because at this point, I understand America. We are going to go downhill so fast. It's going to be... whoever takes presidency next is going to inherit so many problems, including a devaluation of the dollar. But let's just put that aside. That'll be for another video. And I'll go off on financial attributes. That'll blow your mind. Okay? But... to get to my third point, okay, let's not digress. Let's not go off the beaten path. Okay, we've already done that. COVID tests, release into the interior, bad idea. Biden administration. There you go. Let's move on. Okay, the third one is Kamala Harris, my favorite vice president in the world. Decides that instead, as she's asked, are you going to go to the border? And she's like, you know, in that cackle that she does. Not today, but I have been and maybe soon. Okay, as she lands in the state of Florida. Okay, let me get something straight. First of all, Ron DeSantis, as far as I'm concerned, is like the greatest governor in the country. Okay, we have literally one of the oldest populations in the country. Like, we have more old people that would baffle you. Okay? And our death to mortality rate to million, okay, is the same as California that's been locked down for the entire time. Businesses are crushed. People's financial futures are done. I mean... how can you explain this? Is that even a possibility to be able to explain something like that? Here you have one governor that kept an entire state open, except for I think it was a week. He shut us down for a week. Didn't bother me, it was like a week's vacation. But shut us down for a week. Schools were shut down for I think 2, maybe 3 weeks, and then we went to virtual learning or something like that. But either way, the point that I'm getting at is the idea that you have two different governors, okay? You have the governor of California and the governor of Florida, okay? One is almost about to be recalled. Governor DeSantis, he's probably running for president in 2024. This man is phenomenal. I want to go on record. I'm a contract painter. I have not stopped working since the beginning of the pandemic. My family did not starve. I never had to go on unemployment or food stamps or anything of that nature. Never had to dwell from welfare or put anything on a taxpayer's dollar other than my own tax dollars that I pay. That's the point that I'm getting at. And then Kamala Harris arrives in Florida And her first words coming off the stairs of, I guess maybe that's Air Force Two, is the idea of, don't worry, Florida, help is here. I have a word for you, Kamala. Here's what I think about the idea of you coming here and saying, first of all, you were the first candidate in the Democratic primaries to be thrown off stage. You got plucked out of obscurity because you were a black female. If that's not racist, I don't know what the hell is. But, hey, I'm glad you're vice president. Outstanding. Great achievement. But if you think, for even like a half second, that Florida really needs your help, you should go back to D.C. or California or wherever. Yeah, that's right, California's seat. Yeah, so you live in California, so go back there. Matter of fact, deal with those problems first before you ever come over into Florida and think that you have to deal with some problems here other than some really opinionated Republicans that won this state. We voted against you and Joe Biden for a reason. We saw what was coming and now it's here. What else do you want us to do? It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, so are we just supposed to take you at face value even though you laugh like the Joker in Batman? Or, like, what are we supposed to do? I want to know. Like, please give me an answer. I would love to see a YouTube comment from somebody on the other side that would explain to me what's actually going on. In the next episode that I actually have, I do want to give you guys a little bit of a preview. I'm going into transgender sports. I'm going into feminism, which I actually consider myself a feminist because I actually believe that all women should actually have the same rights as a man and they should have the same opportunities. Now, radical feminism is what we're going to be talking about. That's going to be interesting. And how it actually ruined the nuclear family. As well as the Democrats. Trust me, I'll go into that too. But, once again, I hope you guys got a little bit of information. Once again, I don't care about subscribers. Doesn't matter to me if you follow me. I hope you just listened and got a little tidbit of information that you probably didn't know and learned something. That's what I'm here for. Either way, I guess I'm now being considered the culturally woke Republican, and I'm Sean Ferrer, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.